Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're going to cover Samira in a updated complete guide. So of course, in my tier list that I recently released for patch 4.4a, I ranked Samira and Draven both in the A+ tier as champions that both, basically if you're good at them, can definitely work, but weren't really the best because they couldn't really close out games and they get heavily outscaled. So today we've taken a look at Draven last time, and now we're going to take a look at Samira. So of course, before any of that, of course, don't forget to check out Samira's basic guide for, of course, some her skills, living order, tips and tricks, and combos. Which, of course, combos for Samira are really, really important. I'll toss that up in the cards above. So let's jump straight into the build. So this is literally the same as Draven's build, essentially. They're really similar in terms of build. You're gonna go for Gluttonous Greaves as your first item, of course, for the Omnivamp as well as the AD. I don't really think any other boots are good on Samira. I think these are the best. Followed by the Bloodthirster. Huge amount of AD, huge amount of physical vamp, and of course additional AD and attack speed when you're high on health. Into your IE for, of course, that boost in damage. Into, of course, more reminder for armor pen as well as your grievous wounds. And then finally shield bow for the safety as well as, of course, the other nice stats. And of course, for your last item, you can go for GA for the revive, or you can go for Maw if you're against heavy magic damage, and you can even go for Twin Guard. I actually think Twin Guard is really strong on Samira and really underrated on Samira, because honestly, if you if you play Samira in a way that you're going to full combo and go in instantly, your Twin Guard is not gonna have time to stack up. But if you want to play a little bit slower, let's say you get like 1-2 stacks on your passive and then you play slow, you don't just immediately jump in. Wait out some of the enemy spells, and then your Twin Guard procs in your ulti, you're going to be so tanky and they can't kill you, which is why I think Twin Guard on Samira is actually really good as a last item. So some other alternative items, you could drop your shield bow and actually go for Collector as like a second item after Bloodthirster. Now I know that the top Samira builds actually go for Collector first item into shield bow second item, but I really don't think this build is good. Of course, the early armor pen is good, and of course Collector is actually pretty good on Samira, considering that your ulti is gonna do a little bit like small amounts of damage but a lot of it. So the 5% on Collector actually is useful on Samira, one of the few champions that this is the case on. But I've tried Collector out for a couple of matches, and I really like the early game power of Collector, but I really just don't like how it falls off so hard late game. So unless you're snowballing, Collector isn't really a good idea. And even in 2 matches where I snowballed and got Collector, the game just turned on its head really quickly, and what ended up basically happening was I felt Collector was really useless, which is why I basically don't have it in my build anymore. Another interesting build variation is you can actually build Duskblade first item instead of Collector, which I feel if you really want to snowball, this is kind of more useful than Collector. So you go Duskblade first item, huge amount of AD and huge amount of armor pen. Like you look at Collector, you get 40 AD, 10 armor pen. Compared to this, 55 AD, 18 armor pen. That's more like it. So you go for that first item, and then you go into your normal 4 crit items. Like if you really want to snowball and you really want early game power, that's probably the better way to go. So finally, we have her runes and her spells. So runes, pretty much your only option here is going to be Conquer. Your Conquer will be fully stacked when your ulti is ready, because you have to hit 6 times to stack up your ulti, which is the same as Conquer. So you're going to get the Omnivamp as well as the AD for that. Then I like to go for Triumph here, because Brutal is not useful in Samira because she doesn't really auto attack a lot. Most of her damage comes from her spells, so Brutal isn't very useful here in my opinion. Whereas Triumph, when you get resets, is actually going to be very helpful for you to continue to, of course, go for people. Similar to Draven, I think Last Stand is really good because Samira gets really low a lot of the time, so Last Stand damage could be pretty insane. Of course, Giant Slayer is also an option here if you're against a really tanky team. And then of course we are going to go for Bloodline for more Omnivamp, because there really isn't any other better option here. You don't need attack speed or anything like that. The Tenacity one actually is not too bad. Like if you're into a really heavy CC team, the Tenacity one could actually work. But yeah. So for your minor rune, you actually have 2 options. So your first option is to go the full aggressive route, which is to go for Sudden Impact. So whenever you dash in, you're going to get 13 armor pen, which is a lot. The other option is to go the defensive route, which is to go for Bone Plating. So you should go for probably Bone Plating if you're into a lane where there's like a lot of range, like Caitlyn's, Ashes, and such. But into most lanes, probably it's going to be better to take Sudden Impact to really kind of increase your all-in damage, is what I think is probably better. And for the spells, you want to take Flash, and generally you take Exhaust, because you're normally in range to exhaust whoever it is that you need to exhaust. So this is generally going to be the best one to take, but barrier is also a very viable option, because you can barrier when you're while you're ulting, and this will of course reduce the damage you take and of course increase the impact of your ult. But with all that out the way, let's jump into Samira's gameplay. Okay, so moving on to the gameplay itself. Now, of course, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will, of course, be sure to address them. Okay, so now hopping straight into it, of course, now, Samira, really straightforward. You want to be playing with a team, and more particularly a support who is able to engage for you, or at least get some CC. So if you're playing with Enchanter, it has to be something like Nami or Janna, where they can at least knock up for you and allow you to do something. If not, the best is engagers like your Leonas, Nautilus, Thresh. Those kind of things, you need a support with CC. If not, you're going to be very useless, because you can't really do a lot by yourself. So you can straight away off the bat see the weakness of Samira, which is she has the lowest range out of all ADCs, on par with Lucian. So here Ezreal not only outranges me in terms of auto attack, but also outranges me in terms of his poke. So you can see here we're eating a bunch of poke from Ezreal, and we are going to have to pop the fruit to kind of get a little bit of our health back. The good news is that he has a Swain support, and Swain support is not really going to do too much to us aside from that, or if we get pulled in by that, for example, but he's not going to do too much else. So here Leona actually scares Ezreal off, pops the heal for the movement speed and also just to run away. Here you can see I'm focusing the Swain this entire time, and here I spawn an opportunity, so I go in on the Swain and I try to go in on Ezreal. Unfortunately, Pantheon is over here and is able to combo me for the kill. If not, I may have been able to kill Ezreal and would have been close, but yeah. So one of the key skills you need as a Samira player is to really identify when you can go in. So there you can see we got Swain relatively low, so I know with my sudden impact damage and of course with whatever spells I have, I would be able to just jump in and basically just one-shot him like what you saw there, and then I could get the reset and try to jump onto Ezreal and try to do the same thing to him. So that was pretty much the game plan there, which may or may not have succeeded, you know, if the Pantheon did not pull up into the lane. But yeah, so we ended up trading, not really trading, but we ended up you know, getting a kill and dying as well. So we're 1-1, which is not the worst scenario in the world. Here they're just outside the tower, so there's not too much we can do, but of course Leona has her W, so she's pretty tanky in this instance. Here we're again getting more damage onto Swain. Swain of course has even worse range than us, so we're kind of just trying to take advantage of that, and Swain here gets the pull in. So here we're actually just going to go straight on in like that, and we're going to just secure both of the kills here. So honestly, in this scenario, it's not really a place where I wanted to fight, but there really was no other option because we already got caught by the Swain route. So if we just tried to run, we would get slowed by the Glacial and they would just run us down. So we really had no option but to fight here, and because we went in, we had a really good EQ combo onto both of them, which chunked them out a lot. Together again with the sudden impact damage allows us to get the kill. This is one of the main reasons why I pretty much just say that sudden impact is a really important rune for Samira, because with like bone plating, these kills probably would not even have happened. The sudden impact damage is pretty insane, and it's really kind of where a lot of Samira's damage in the earlier stages of the game comes from. It's like from that 13 extra armor penetration. So the sudden impact really key in this two particular fights. So here for some reason Swain is behind and like he's like basically just getting rid of wards or something like that, and basically because of that another fight breaks out. Leona gets a really good ulti. We are able to burst down the Swain and are able to get an ulti onto Ezreal, who got CC'd by Leona, and we're able to kill them off again. So Samira, a little bit like Draven, but when you get fed and you start to pop off, start to snowball, you know, you're gonna start to be able to you know, start to like one shot, not really one shot, but if you get to your ult, you're gonna basically just burn through enemy health bars. If you have Pantheon trying to pull up, I'm just focusing on getting the plate, which we unfortunately don't quite manage to do. But yeah, so we want to be a little bit conservative there. We don't want to overstay, but we don't really have to back either because we don't really have anything important to buy. So we're just gonna stick around, lifesteal off of the next minion wave, and see if anything else can be done. So here we can see that Pantheon is still lurking around in the area. He's actually gone for our Evelyn. So here Swain is actually roaming, so Ezreal we know is alone. So here we're actually trying to follow the roam. Ezreal is busy clearing the minions, so he can't roam. Evelyn does die, and our Yasuo is it Yasuo? Our Twisted Fate, sorry, is running away. And here we're able to basically get on top of the Ahri. She's like 1 HP, we're able to finish the kill, and we're actually at B style. So we're actually trying to get to A and S, but unfortunately it kind of runs out. So we have to re-combo back to A rank, and now Pantheon shows up. We're actually at S now, so we're just ulting to try to get some damage onto Pantheon and Swain, but unfortunately a little bit too much damage, and we somehow are barely able to survive, like on 1 HP pretty much at this point. So we barely escape with our lives, and we're gonna hit all the way back here and recall. Twisted Fate tries to cover the lane, but ends up donating a free kill to Ezreal instead, which is not very ideal. But yeah, so we don't have enough of Bloodthirster, so we can really only just get the cloak, which is really not that big of a buy. Now something interesting to point out here is that both Twisted Fate and Evelyn have both gone for Magi's as their first item, which is pretty insane to me because Magi's is such a high risk, high reward item that I personally would never buy it as first item. Of course, this is kind of, I guess, to do with your playstyle and your personality, but I wouldn't go for a high risk, high reward item as my first item, which is mainly why I don't go for like Collector or like the lethality boots on like champions like Samira and Draven, but I'm sure a lot of people would do that. But yeah, so far it's not really working out for them. Twisted Fate just died, and Evelyn also just died, so I guess they're gonna have 0 stacks on Magi's. But here we're able to actually pick up actually able to pick up the Bloodthirster, so now we're at our first like kind of major power spike in terms of item wise. So this of course will give us a lot more damage and such. So here we're pretty much just waiting for Leona to get back to lane because there's not a lot we can do alone. Swain might be hiding at the edge of that bush, which is why I'm not really walking up, because if I get caught by Swain, you know, I probably will just die. There he was at the edge of the bush as I expected. The slow kind of prevents me from really getting in where I want to be, but we are able to get S rank, and we're slowly trying to burn down the Swain, but Swain is getting to be quite tanky, and also he has of course the Bramble Vest, which is kind of preventing me from healing, so really effective and good itemization purchase from the Swain. The Bramble Vest plus the plated steel caps basically means I can't really do damage against him, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so we couldn't really get onto Ezreal because he arcane shifted away, so that wasn't really the best fight, but we didn't really lose anything from it. Of course, like Samira has an 8-second ult cooldown, which basically means we didn't really even lose ulti. We're able to lifesteal everything back, which is obviously kind of why one of the main reasons why Ezreal isn't too good in this current meta, because I can just lifesteal his poke back, and whatever damage that they do, I can pretty much just lifesteal back as long as they have minions alive. You can see here, basically at full HP again. Here Twisted Fate comes in off of the roam, tries to target the Ezreal. I'm trying to do the same, and I am able to finish him off, and I go in with the ulti, trying to finish off the Swain, which Twisted Fate barely does manage to do. Ahri is now on the roam, and it's becoming a really big mess of a fight in the top side of the map. Here we're just trying to force this tower. We have 3 people here. Pantheon is hovering around the area, so we get a little bit scared, so we're just going to hop away. We blocked the charm for the Leona, but turns out that was a mistake because Fiora ends up showing up, and because of that she's able to finish us off, whereas if we just pretty much just dodged the charm, we would have been able to survive. So it was a mistake on hindsight, but I thought at the time that you know, Pantheon and Ahri didn't have much kill threat on me, so I tried to help out my support by blocking, and basically everyone ends up dying anyway, so yeah, not really the best. Alright, so now that we've respawned, we're pretty much just going for this top wave. There is a fight going on in mid, so we could of course have gone there, but really there's nothing, like no real objective fight over. And a lot of times, like when you go mid to try to go for a fight, what pretty much just ends up happening is the fight never happens anyway, so it just becomes a waste of time. So here I'm just trying to I was trying to secure the tower, but I briefly see Fiora on vision, and I don't really want to 1v1 her because I don't think I win the 1v1. Although I am pretty fed, so there is an argument that it is possible, but you know, she has Execution's Calling and such, so I don't really want to mess around too much. But here, with the backup of Leona and Twisted Fate, we should be able to secure the tower. Now fight ends up breaking out here with the Swain, so here I'm trying to get myself involved. Unfortunately, I get rooted by Swain, so my W hit nobody, which basically means I can't really stack up quickly enough. And now I'm kind of stuck in between everybody, so here I get my S rank finally. I know I'm going to die here, so I flash to get the shutdown on the Ahri, so even though I do die, I still get a huge shutdown on Ahri. That's like 600 gold or so. So it's not worth, but it's better than dying without getting any of them. So now our Aatrox and Evelynn are back in the mix. Evelynn with a huge ult to kill 2, and they do get the clean actually, it was not an ace because Ezreal's still alive, but we basically get all of the kills except Ezreal. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad of a situation for our team at least. So in terms of gold, Ahri is the most fair in the game, but she kind of has a really weird AD build where she has Triforce into Magnetic Blast, so she's going for some kind of auto attack Ahri, and she also has like the attack speed boot, so she's going for some kind of auto attack style Ahri. Really strange. And of course we got kind of a couple members fed in the enemy team as well, like Pantheon. Me and Evan are really fed, so it's quite a competitive game. Next thing that's up for contest is Dragon. So Dragon's up, we're all trying to contest it. Leona's off at the side, just pretty much just CCing people and pulling them off. Pantheon ults in, but Dragon's already dead, and he has to basically just yeah, he just has to do that. He just engages and he's just stuck. So he flashes into the wall, and I'm assuming my team is going to deal with him, which is why I'm pretty much just went for everybody else. They actually take a long time to kill Pantheon, and I'm taking a long time to kill Swain, who is really tanky. And I barely managed to kill him with my ulti. We would have definitely gotten the kill on him eventually, but it kind of just took a lot of time here. Yeah, so here we're trying to push in another tower, but obviously the whole enemy team is here. I'm gonna have to pop my W to block some block the Ahri charm as well as Ezreal's damage. So pretty good use of W there. Normally your W, you can use it either to combo or to actually block spells, and blocking spells with W is not a problem at all, because sometimes it's obviously more important to block a hostile spell which could kill you than to use it to combo. So here we're at the 2-item power spike of IE plus Bloodthirster. So now you're actually going to see something pretty interesting for the rest of this match. So you know Samira is normally the kind of champion that you want to get up to full stacks and actually combo with, but you'll actually see throughout the rest of the match we are barely able to get off any more ultis. Like, you will see what I mean, but you can see that Samira can still be useful. So here you can see I'm coming in from the side, a lot of spells have been used, I'm trying to clean up the fight. Here I'm trying to block some damage, I'm trying to go in for the combo, boom, I get one shot. Like, if I did not get hit by that Ezreal ulti, I think I kill all of them here. I kill at least 3 people here minimum, but because I got whacked by that Ezreal ulti, you know, I don't end up killing anybody here. Pretty unfortunate, I just end up dying. Evelynn trying her best to kill somebody, she's just getting auto attacked down by Ahri, and her crown gets popped. Honestly, the Ahri, considering she was playing AD, shouldn't have used spells. She should have just auto attacked so that Evelynn's crown did not break, which is kind of a thing that a lot of ADCs make the mistake of. Like, for Samira you can't do this, but if you're a general like auto attack style ADC, let's say you're a Jinx or a Caitlyn, you want to just attack them. Like, if you're Caitlyn, just attack, don't Q them because it will break their crown and give them damage reduction. If you're a Jinx, don't zap them, just auto attack them and their crown will not proc. The only way this can go wrong is if your teammates proc their crown, like with their spells. If not, as an ADC, a lot of times you can just auto attack them to death without them ever proccing crown. Crown is not meant to counter ADCs, it's meant to counter assassins. You can only you can counter yourself if you are the one that procs their crown with using your spell. Of course, again, like some champions like Lucian and Samira, it's unavoidable, but if you can, you do want to avoid doing that. So here, sitting here pretty long to kind of set a trap for the enemy team, thinking the enemy team might just walk over here, but apparently they don't. So we move up the trap a little bit. Evelynn tries to go for a one-shot, but Ezreal's able to hop out of the way. Ahri charm goes to Narnia, and here a fight just randomly breaks up. Pantheon ults in. I'm just maintaining my distance, trying to get up, trying to get my stacks. Here I'm looking for my opportunity to go in and ulti. So here I get a relatively okay ulti. I do kill Ezreal, but I get pretty much just CC'd by the Pantheon, and I do end up dying. Pantheon lives on 1 HP. Aatrox is going to change that, and yeah. So pretty messy. Aatrox now going for the rest of the kills. Ahri is trying to run away, and he gets the kill onto Swain as well. Last remaining member of our team alive, and he is, of course, making the best of it by grabbing himself a couple kills. Now, honestly, if he hit that on Ahri, Ahri might have just died, but now Fiora is here for backup, so he has to run. And yeah, so now he's just going to go back to farming because not too much can be done here. Baron is up and the next dragon is coming up in 40 seconds. Of course, no team has triple dragon, so dragon's just going to be like a random reason to fight, but it's not actually that important. And of course, Baron is a lot more important than that. Honestly, I feel that in this current meta where triple dragon is not even that impactful, especially if you already have one dragon, probably trying to sneak a baron when dragon spawns is going to be a better idea than actually going to contest the dragon, especially if you are maybe the weaker team. And any team decides to go dragon and you sneak a baron while they're doing that, that could be huge. Haven't really seen that happening though, and if it becomes like a meta thing to do that, I think honestly most people will catch on and it wouldn't really work anymore. Here I'm just clearing out the wave before dragon to get some priority, and a fight already kind of breaks out. There's a fight in the top side river and another fight in the bot side river, which is really messy. I'm just trying to make my way to any of the fights. And the fight now transitions to mid lane, so the fights kind of combine together into one huge fight in the mid lane. And yeah, you can see that it's just a lot of posturing. Nothing too much is really happening yet. Both teams just trying to like kind of land some poke and all. So here Ari's on the side, gets a huge magnetic blaster shot onto me. Here Leona pops the locket, and here I spot Ari off on the side. We basically combo her. I try to flash for the Pantheon. I have my ult ready. I'm ulting him down, and we do get the kill on him. Ezreal is, for some reason, in our jungle just trying to run away. So Twisted Fate thinks he's smart about it. He wants to go for the Ezreal. But I don't think Twisted Fate wins against Ezreal. That's the thing. I was saying this in the match itself. I pan my camera and I see Twisted Fate dying to Ezreal. And he ends up dying to the red buff, which is pretty troll. Now my team is just chasing the Fiora. I'm going for the dragon. I know the dragon is not that useful, but Mounted Dragon, you know, a little bit of defensive stats. Yeah, you know, why not? Better than chasing, you know, these people halfway across the map. Ezreal's crown actually nearly saves him there because Evelyn just tried to full combo him, but he has the crown and he actually blocks a lot of that damage and nearly survived, but he does end up dying in the end. I also grab my QSS because there's a lot of CC on the enemy team. The Swain Root, the Ahri Charm, the Pantheon Stun, a lot of CC there that we can of course just cleanse out of. So here we're just going to grab ourselves the red buff, and the next objective is like Baron, and we can't exactly just do Baron. Both teams are really close in terms of gold, so we can't exactly you know, just do that. So here it pretty much is just posturing again. Pretty boring stuff for now, and here we're trying to just start up the Baron to maybe bait the enemy team to fight. Here we can see there's a ward, so enemy team should know about this and they should probably just come. Evelyn just tries to full combo the Swain for some reason, who is the tank, which doesn't make sense at all, and kind of overcommits a big time for that in my opinion. And yeah, he's overcommitting a lot because of that and nearly dies for it with Baron up, which is kind of disaster. So here, trying to go in for the huge ult again, but I get CC'd by the Pantheon, which is really annoying. Should have just preemptively QSS there, and maybe I would have actually killed all of them. Now here I'm trying to chase, but I get hit by basically everything, because again, Samira has no range, so when you walk, you're just gonna get hit by everything, and we dodged the Ezreal out. And now at this point, Elder Dragon is coming up in like 20 seconds. So, Fiora's dead in trade for like Leona. So if we actually are going for the sneaky Baron, because most people would think you wouldn't start Baron when Elder is gonna spawn, but we do. We start Baron, and now my team is resetting, and we're going to go for Elder next. So this does of course mean that we're gonna be a little bit late for Elder. Like, it's gonna spawn now and we still need to walk into Elder, so we want to be really cautious about this. Of course I don't want to be the one walking in, and I don't need to back for items, so I'm just gonna stay here. We're gonna assume the enemy team is in the area. I don't know why Evelyn is showing on the mid lane. Actually she's invis in the mid lane, so she's trying to kind of assassinate someone. Surprisingly, enemy team is not on Elder, and here we're just trying to basically you know, get something done, and we get pulled in by Swain. Nothing is really happening. Evelyn is still walking around mid lane, but we can see all of the enemy team in the jungle, so I don't know why she's still walking in the mid lane. I think she's trying to clear minions now. Now she's trying to go for Ezreal. Leona gets the CC on Ezreal, and Ezreal does end up going down, which is one problem out of the way. I'm trying to go combo the Swain to get my stacks to try to get damage onto someone else, but doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for Swain first. We get him out of the way. And here another fight kind of breaks out in the top lane. Here I'm just trying to go for the tower, but the minions are not in range, and I end up tanking towers. I'm just going to go over and help my team out with the kills. I don't even think they actually need my help here, so Fiora does end up dying to Aatrox eventually, I believe, and we basically end up acing the enemy team. So that's pretty much going to be the end of the game. Here we can just end the game right here. Yeah. So we're just gonna end the game right here, and you can see that Samira can still somewhat be effective even without ulting that much, but you can see basically how Samira works in this new meta. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual, and goodbye.